all of you fresh-faced new students. Your time here will be of absolute importance to the future of not only yourself, but of your whole nation. This experiment is going to be kinda like a game. Kill each other!
Ah! This had to be a treat. There's gotta be another way out.
Apparently, it is our only means of escape.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
This is...
If you didn't do it, mistakes like that'll make sure you're next.
As long as you get results and don't get caught, truly anything goes!
Hi everyone, how's it going? We're here for an interview to talk about Kumitantei. Can everybody here please give an introduction for themselves?
I am Lina Kibara. I am the creative director of Kumitantei and the team lead at Mango Factory.
Well, I'm Gal to the rescue, or Gal. I mainly work here as the animator and motion graphic designer.
I'm Detective Neeks, and I am the scenario writer on Kumitantei Old School Slaughter.
All right, and my name is Mia Page. I am the voiceover casting and director, and I also voice Himari Sanada.
Awesome. Pretty good lineup here. I'm very excited to talk with you all about the game. So I went ahead and sent the question list to you guys ahead of time. To get this out of the way, obviously the game has changed quite a bit from its initial origins. How has it been transitioning from a fan project to an original work? How in-depth were the discussions and planning around this?
Well, it took a lot of time to develop and rework things. Like, we were going from being like a darker fangame than a lot of like usual ones into being a much more colorful and tonally silly like original project. And of course with the different time period that affected a lot too. The decision to go in the direction that we did to like emulate 80s anime and stuff, that actually came from a scrapped RPG project that we had worked on back in like 2019. It was intended as the aesthetic for that, and it was just kind of adapted into this fangame project to like basically merging these two concepts that we had into this greater whole.
Okay, that's actually very interesting. Kind of like making sure that, I guess, like nothing kind of gets completely lost, at least scrapping together something from everything.
A philosophy that I have is to never leave a good idea on the cutting room floor. Like you can always reuse a good idea for something else.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, while we are talking about this, I guess I'll also show on the screen you've sent some differences between the art style when it was initially in its fangame phase versus in its new phase now.
Yeah. It's kind of startling how much it's changed.
Yeah, it's
we came a long way.
It's very interesting, like, kind of comparing, because you can definitely see all of the same, like, DNA in it, but, I don't know, I think it's very impressive how much it was able to adapt to, like, its new style and still retain a lot of that, like, identity. Because honestly, like, even the old art's, like, really fantastic.
The old art, not so much. That was when I was doing it myself, but the last versions of the fangame designs are really good.
I do like how the character design, like some of them kind of mostly stay the same throughout, and some are just like basically a different character. Like Nisuke here just went through like 3 different forms. He
had a heavy transition there.
Looking at the old versions of the art here, obviously we have Monokuma, and then we have not Monokuma over here. So
congratulations on his transition.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that because I know, like, obviously we have sort of characters to fill those roles now, but I am kind of curious about, like, is this Toon Monokuma a little bit? a little bit different than how we kind of see his counterpart now in terms of like presentation personality.
Not really. But
Okay.
Nyana Sofu, at the time he was called Mono Sofu, obviously.
Yeah.
The way that he speaks, I assume that you were on Twitter during like the 2020 election.
Yes.
Do you remember the Biden insult bot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a heavy inspiration for the way that Nyana Sofu speaks.
That is a crazy comparison to make.
Didn't expect to hear that.
That's really good.
We literally showed it to the voice actor when recording the vocals. We were like, "Hey, you see this?
No, that was
This.
Could you do it
Do
like
that.
this?
Do that."
No, I think that was like the one session like I missed.
Yeah.
No, you were there. Oh my god, I think you're right. Oh my
Yeah.
god. We were like, "Hey, can you do this?"
Yeah, we have a
Crazy.
bunch of outtakes of him actually reading tweets from the Biden insult bot.
Oh my god. So, were the cards always a part of the initial development plan, or were they in addition once the game was headed in a new direction?
So, originally, like, as a fangame, we were sticking very close to the formula. So, like, obviously we had the truth bullet system and stuff, and when we were deciding to go in this different direction, it felt important to us to find, like, a specific thing that we could like build our entire game design philosophy around, because like Danganronpa, literally it means bullet refute. Like that's the premise that's in the title, and so we wanted to try to emulate that through like going in a whole different direction with how we would approach similar systems. And our programmer decided that probably the best way to do that, like, building up a new identity for us and like retaining what we wanted to, the best option for that would be like a card game. Those are also like really viral at the moment, so that is in hindsight a very good idea.
Yeah, I guess it lined up pretty well.
That was a decision that we made like almost first thing after deciding not to be a fangame anymore. Like, what are we going to do that is different and changes things? And that's actually what the title Kumitantei means. It means deck detective.
Oh, that's fun.
Kumi can mean like a few things. It can mean like a class of students or a deck of cards. And then obviously Tante is detective. So like it's kind of like a double meaning there, which is really fun.
Yeah, I always love whenever stuff manages to do stuff like that.
Working on the card system, we tried as hard as we could to integrate that into literally everything. Literally everything we possibly could, we would make it about the card system. Evidence, those are cards. You remember like the talent cards that you could use that were like specific to each character? Those are cards too. You get those from doing the FTEs and leveling people up, kind of like how Persona works with social links.
Yeah.
So we incorporated the cards into the social life stuff through that. Then we obviously incorporated it into the investigation through having evidence cards and stuff. And then throughout the trial, you're pretty much constantly using them either in the War of Words segments or the card battle debates.
Yeah, I do think it's always very like rewarding to integrate those systems as much as you can into like the game itself, especially when it's particularly like themed after those things, because it's just like, you know, if you want people to sort of like fall into the system as much as possible during gameplay, it's like very important to find creative ways to sort of like ease them into it, I guess. And I am actually really looking forward to getting to play around with that more, because I know in the demo it's just kind of like we don't really have as much of an opportunity to get into it organically because we haven't reached that point in the story yet. But I mean, like, it's definitely something that, like, divorced from context, I was like, Ooh, wow. Okay, this is a lot. Like, I'm looking forward to this being taught to me gradually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a criticism that we've had a lot with the demo is that the tutorial is not very good.
I mean, it's
it'll be definitely
understandable though, because it's like, yeah, that it is a lot to absorb. So if you're just kind of like taking it wholesale as opposed to piecemeal, it's probably going to be a lot harder to sort of convey.
Yeah, like we have an interactive tutorial for it, like right at the start of the game, so that'll fill in for a lot of that. But like obviously, with it being a demo and it kind of being put in the tutorial like at the last minute, because we knew that people probably wouldn't be able to just figure this out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turned out to be like 11 pages of tutorial and nobody wanted to read it anyway.
Yeah, they were just like, I'll just go to the story part. You know, I'll figure that out later.
The especially interesting thing with using the cards was that we were able to incorporate them heavily into like the aesthetic of the game. Like the menus heavily involved them and stuff, and like a lot of the visual design language uses the cards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of like the card element being incorporated into the UI and the menu and stuff. I'm pretty looking forward to getting people to see it when the game comes out.
Oh yeah, I love stuff like that. Which, by the way, I will say on that note too, like at least from what I've seen so far, I do love a lot of like the UI and visual elements. They very well suit the actual like vibe of the game and stuff. I really do enjoy it.
Guile did such an amazing job. Shout out to Guile. He's so fucking good, dude.
Oh my god, when I saw the animation, I like lost it. That was so good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Every time like a new piece of animation for like stuff that's happening for episode 1 like is shown, I'm blown away completely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of like thought and effort into that to make sure everything is good.
Honestly, a very like under appreciated element of game design like that too is like just having that visual feedback that fits very well into it, because like that's kind of a crucial part of the sort of like, I don't know what you would call it, like catharsis or like satisfaction that you get out of systems like that is like having that nice feedback that shows like, ooh, I'm doing this well, like I'm doing this right.
Yeah, the game feel is really important to make things like responsive and satisfying to play through.
Mm-hmm.
We put so much thought into designing each and every one of those cards. Like each of the different suits are intended to like tell a story between like the cards in order. It's like it's all little mini mystery narratives told through these card arts. But also every single one of the cards artworks incorporates the number that is on that card.
Ah, that's so fun.
The one for 5 in one of them has a hand with 5 fingers visible, or like in another one for 9, the clock is at 9 o'clock or something like that. It's a really cool thing. We put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, I wonder how many people actually notice that.
Yeah, your community has been really lovely with, like we were in chat watching the stream, and the people there in chat were so cool and had so much great feedback for us. Thank you very much for playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time with it. So where did the idea for an alternate history angle come from?
Well, this is just kind of how I write. Like, I'm a history nerd first and foremost, and yeah, that's kind of where my vision for a lot of storytelling comes from, is like I read a lot of history, and I go on a lot of binges of Wikipedia articles of stuff that happened 200 years ago.
Very fair.
Like, it was a natural choice for me. Even like back when we were doing a fangame, it was the same like alternate history storyline going on, like as a backdrop to it. Actually, when we were a fangame, the current story was actually set in modern day. Like it wasn't like an 80s thing yet. That came with the decision to swap it to the 80s anime aesthetic so that like it would fit stylistically with the actual narrative. I love how much just subtle tweaks to major historical events can like dramatically change the path that the world goes down. Like that's fascinating to me. The way that we've approached Kumitantei's alternate history is it only has two inciting differences in like just in general that are unique from the way things went in our world and have no correlation to how things went in our world. And those two specific things butterfly into literally all of the differences that are here in this like bizarro timeline.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, considering the twin imagery that's already present, and the fact that it's two as well is like, oh, okay. Yeah, I've been taps my forehead, paying attention.
Nudist thing.
I'm connecting the dots. But yeah, I always think that's a very fun approach to take. I mean, like, I definitely get that. I have a very close friend who, like, his idea of a fun afternoon is, like, randomly going on Wikipedia to, like, random historical event and then going down a rabbit hole for several hours. So I definitely understand where the impulse comes from. With
the nature of Kumitantei's alternate history, with obviously Japan not being defeated during World War II, is that means that canonically within this universe, there is no Godzilla.
That's actually something I had not considered. That is really funny. Oh man, I'm going down a mental rabbit hole now.
So silly.
I have actually paid a ton of attention to stuff like that and have adjusted like in-universe pop culture references accordingly to what would make sense to still exist within the context of this universe.
I think that's actually very prudent to do, because on one hand I think it's silly and fun and I don't like terribly mind it, but I do notice a lot of the times when I'm playing something that's like, oh, this takes place at X time and place, and it's like, and then they make a reference and it's like, that didn't exist. Relatedly, because of this angle, the story obviously touches on some pretty dark and touchy parts of Japanese history in particular. Were there any anxieties about approaching the subject matter from a writing perspective?
So it was really important to us to approach the subjects of like imperialism and human experimentation in a way that's tactful and empathetic to the victims of these real world atrocities. Like, we make an effort to, we don't specifically mention any specific real events or individuals, like, because that would kind of be taking advantage of these terrible things that happened for the sake of a narrative, and that's kind of fucked up. So, like, we obviously we have thoroughly researched the history and what happened during these events to accurately reflect the toxic, warped ideologies and methods that went into them. But we try to be as careful and, like, would say emotionally intelligent about this as possible, like, to make sure that we're not being offensive to anyone and also not downplaying anything, because we are making like an anime horror game that is like kind of silly and quirky, and like it's important to us to talk about these subjects because they're not talked about enough, and that is like a really significant thing that needs to have more attention brought to it. But at the same time, like, it is so easy to get into subjects like this and it start to become kind of gratuitous and like taking advantage of it. Exploitative, yeah. And a big part of our decision to go this direction, our team is based in Indonesia. My wife, our CEO, is Indonesian. And if you don't know, Indonesia was subjected to a pretty brutal occupation by Imperial Japan. Scars from that are still visible there, like, to this day. So it is deeply important to us to like call attention to this dark period that
Yeah,
is often
absolutely.
overshadowed.
Because that was like my thing initially when going through it. I was like, I'm always very happy. I guess like happy relative, like, you know, it's a dark subject, obviously, but like I'm happy to see pieces of media that do tackle specifically that sort of stuff, because it's actually, I find, very rare to see that particular subject matter in games like this, especially. Because it is just something that people kind of want to shy away from. They're sort of uncomfortable to talk about it because they're like, I don't want to step on toes. And it's like, I know that there is definitely, there's a lot of things sort of tied up in that, where it's like, it almost kind of feels like to an author, like if I touch this, there's kind of like a shadow cast over me from this point onward. But I agree with you that it's like, you know, while it is definitely very important to, you know, kind of be as like well researched as possible and empathetic and try to make sure that it's like, yeah, we don't want to like take it to a point where we're kind of making it too much about us, you know? Like there definitely need to be more pieces of media that address these subjects and kind of tackle their ramifications. Because I feel like there's way too much of a temptation in a lot of media to sort of gloss over or whitewash or, you know, pretend that it was a lot, you know, less horrific than it actually was.
My first exposure to Unit 731 and the Epidemic Prevention Unit in Manchukuo was through a 2-part episode of The X-Files, which I had on VHS as a kid. And for many, many years, like, obviously, like, I watched this when I was kind of young, but for many, many years, like, I'm a child of, like, third generation Japanese diaspora. So, like, this is, like, culturally relevant to me. And I was not aware that these things occurred in real life until I was like already like in my late teens.
Because it's not very talked about.
Yeah, and that is absurd to me that that's possible. Like the only media that I had ever seen like talking about this was that X-Files 2-parter, and because nobody else had ever spoken of it, I just assumed that that was a fictional thing. Like that baffles me, and I hate that, because like there is so much coverage given to like atrocities during World War II that were done like in the West. And it's important that those be talked about.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's important to be able to cover these things so that we can like make sure that these things don't happen again. And the fact that we are going on 80 years since the Unit 731 experiments happened, and there is just so little willingness to actually speak on it and make a point about it.
Because I was going to say, too, to your point of being kind of like exposed to that information for the first time I ever actually heard it mentioned in a piece of media. It's actually name dropped in Higurashi, the visual novel. And I remember being very surprised by that, like being like, oh, you know what you're talking about, you know?
You know ball.
and so like, and knowing to, not to get like too into that, I guess, just, you know, as a point of comparison, but like, I found it very fascinating and frustrating that when it was taken from being, you know, it was released as an indie title originally, and then it was officially ported to consoles by like some other company that acquired the rights or whatever. And when it was officially ported to consoles, all mentions of Unit 731 were stripped out of the console versions. And I was like, wow, that sucks. And so it's just like, so every time I see anything that's like very specifically touching on like that specific like period of time and those sorts of specific things, I'm like, I nod my head in respect, because I'm like, I know that is a thing that is definitely gonna get you on like a lot of people's shit lists. Very important to bring up anyway.
Something that was kind of funny, like when we were first like discussing going this direction years and years ago, a couple of the people on our team, their only exposure to the history of Unit 731 was through a text log in the game Spooky's House of Jump Scares.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, I think it's Subject 10.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm aware of that game. I've never played it before, but
yeah.
That is not a place I would have expected that to pop up.
Yeah, and that is, like, as far as I'm aware, that's one of the only other pieces of media that, like, has gotten popular that references it directly, and that's kind of surreal.
Yeah, that's crazy. We should be able to turn to more than just a few select pieces of media to be like, oh yeah, this talks about this. As opposed to be like, oh, let me rack my brain, I don't know.
Yeah, like, it's kind of bizarre.
I suppose this sort of thing is kind of like a touchy subject that not a lot of games kind of want anything to deal with, because, well, it's pretty easy to like mess these kind of things up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, handling it can be like a very like delicate balancing act, because like you want to, like as Lena said, you want to play like you don't want to shy away from like the atrocity of like what happened, but you don't want to like exploit it.
You know, ultimately though, we do still want to like do like, you know, fun murder mystery things, so like we have to find ways to disperse that throughout in ways that like work tonally, as opposed to be like, hey, we're just having a good time here. Okay, do you have a moment to talk about the atrocities of our history? You know, like...
I think a thing that Kumitantei does really good is when, like, even when there's those kind of scenes, there's all the characters have such specific personality traits that and some of them are so funny. And this, I noticed this while we were recording for the voice sessions. Like, some characters would be, like, super serious, but then other ones would just be, like, the most lighthearted sessions because they're just, like, silly characters. And I really enjoy just how different they all are. And I don't know. I think it, like, makes some things lighter and some things way heavier. And I like it.
It's a nice way to strike a balance with such a, like, big cast like that. And I think, honestly, too, like, that is a very interesting way that Danganronpa manages its tone, where it kind of starts off with a lot of these, like, sillier characters, and then slowly over the course of the game, as it gets into, like, the more serious parts of the story, it slowly starts to chip away at those characters, so it's like, you don't really have as much of that relief anymore, because everybody else who's still here is kind of standing around brooding.
No more comic relief characters. We killed them.
Well, they always, like, bring one or two to the end.
At least a couple, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you survive in a Danganronpa killing game. You either be funny or you like be important to the plot.
Yeah, if you start to notice that your relevance in the group is waning, start telling jokes and hope for the best.
Aliens took my hamburger.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, he's making it to the end now. I love Hagakure. He's such a funny character. Okay, so how does the team keep their morale going during rough times, and what advice would you give to other developers, whether they be making fan projects or similarly inspired murder mystery visual novels?
So, keeping up morale, like, in a big project like this, it's obviously not an easy thing. Being game developers full-time now, there are so many, like, high highs and just crushing lows in the process of doing this. It's an emotional roller coaster, like, all the time. As the director, like, I consider it my job to try to regulate that and make it, like, as smooth as possible for the others as I can. I feel that that's a really important aspect of, like, my position here. And so when everyone is, like, kind of in, like, a down spot, I'll try to pick everyone up with like a big pep talk or a team event. The best advice that I can give to other people working on like original projects or fangames or whatever is try to keep your team small and work with people that you like genuinely trust, because game dev is a stressful and emotionally taxing job for like literally everyone involved, and it only takes like a tiny bit of distrust and fighting between your team to sink the entire thing.
Distrust. Nice Danganronpa reference.
Oh no.
Developing game is like really, really hard. Like being in this industry really makes you like empathize with all those other games developer out there, because like making one is really not easy. Yeah, and I've been through like plenty of like stressful time, like burnout and everything like that. Plenty of time, because I have to do a lot of things in this team. So our team's kind of small and we kind of lack like the resources, so we have to put a lot of, each of us has to put a lot of work into it, especially now that we're really close to like release dates. We have to like take care of everything and make sure everything is good and ready to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like especially I would imagine on your end, like I know I like one of my roommates is an animator, and I have definitely seen kind of like the toll that crunch time takes on him. So I would imagine that burnout from the animation side of things it's a lot to deal with.
So many times Guile has come within like maybe a few frames of becoming the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, things that kind of keep me from going insane is just take a break once in a while to just do my own things that I kind of enjoy.
Definitely.
One thing that we tend to do a little bit, like sort of when things are like very down at work, is we try to like organize like a games night to sort of, you know, get work out of our minds and just kind of shoot the shit with each other and just have a bit of fun to keep things a bit lighthearted. And as Lena said, like pep talks to sort of remind ourselves like why we're here, why we're making this, and why it's really special to us.
And then we get into shouting matches over Jackbox.
I guess like advice I would give to other people is a lot of people, like I think, make things like for different reasons, like for money, for spite. I think the best way that, like, it might not work for everyone, but I think the best way is to do something because you love it, and to do it with all of the love in your heart, and sort of like you're doing it for you. You don't truly worry about like what anyone else thinks. If you're happy, if you make like even one other person happy, then I think you're good.
It's all creative conversation at the end of the day. It's all about sort of conveying yourself and your feelings to other people. You know, if like 1,000 people or whatever end up playing this and give me a bunch of money, then that's cool. I mean, you know, I'm not going to complain about that, but also at the same time, it's like if like one person played this and like came away being like, wow, that was really impactful to me, it's like, well, did my job.
Well,
yeah,
we did it, Reddit.
Well, having money would still be nice.
I mean, yeah, it would be nice to get paid.
I, with all of the love in my heart and as much money as you can get in my wallet, thank you.
Right, yeah.
Thanks. Because then I can put all my focus into it and not be worried about
exactly.
Help us reach a Kumitantillion dollars.
Yeah!
The first game to make a Kumitantillion dollars.
But after what, like, same thing for what Nick said, I think that also applies for acting and voiceover. I think if I can like step into a character and perform to the best of my ability, if I can like make just like one person feel something, then I win. Basically, it's like, oh good. If I can like really like delve deep into this character's like mindset and like tell their story to the very best of my ability, then I did my job pretty much.
Definitely. That's always been my like favorite part of doing voiceover, is just like being able to express yourself in a way that like creates that emotional connection with another person where they're like, oh wow, I really like feel that. I'm like, yes, I did it.
And I think my favorite part really is like having a relationship with like a character themselves. Like it's kind of like having a relationship with like a friend, kind of. Because I enjoy finding the common ground between me and whoever I'm voicing. Like, I'm a twin, too. I have a twin brother. And so does Himari, right? So, like, I feel, I don't know, like, there's just it's fun. There's, like, a connection there that I can, like, expand on. And it's like I'm having a really good conversation with, like, my best friend or something. And I don't know, it's fun. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And working with like a lot of game devs, I over many years now. So like I've worked on a lot of game projects, and some of them have fallen through and some of them have not. And the ones that have not are the ones with the people that really care about the project. And with this team in particular, I think that there's just a lot of love for all of their characters that they've created in this world that they've expanded on. And I can kind of tell within the first few months on a project if it's going to be one that goes forward or one that falls away.
You can kind of feel it in the air.
Yeah, because you can tell how dedicated people are just by the work that they put out and the way that they act. And I just with this one in particular, I just feel like there's so much love here. And I'm just so looking forward to the future and everything that they're gonna make, and we're gonna create stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess this next question is more geared toward Gael, but animation related. What's been the toughest and most rewarding aspect of working on the game so far when it comes to the animation process? But of course, no spoilers of any specific stuff that we haven't seen yet, but
Well, the toughest thing about the animation is, definitely just the sheer amount of work that are needed to put into them. We're trying our best to not be too ambitious and just cut as many corners as we can. Since I'm the only one doing this, and we only have limited time to do. But even that, there's still a tons of work to do. And I do have some help from other artists to help here and there, like with the sketch and in between and all that. But I still have to do most of the work myself. And I'm the only one with any actual experience with it. Even a small animation for a couple seconds here and there, it's still a lot of work to do. Like 1 second can take up 4 to 5 frames, and it can add up really quick when it's a longer one.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you can imagine having to draw essentially the same drawing multiple times. It can get really tedious. It is what gives our game its own identity, and it's also kind of gives me that sense of pride that not many people can do this or willing to do it, because 2D animation is hard. Yeah, and it feels really rewarding to see a bunch of people be awed and impressed by all the work that I've done for the game.
Because I will say too, from what I saw in the demo, even just that, I was very impressed by the work on display.
Yeah, and that's only a little bit of what we have in store for episode 1. We have for CGs and animated cutscene combined, we have over 30 different ones of them.
Ooh.
It's about 40. It's about 40.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, and a lot. And the CGs aren't fully animated. Some are just still image, but some are still have a little animation here and there. But that's still a lot. One scene can have 4 different drawings, and it can just adds up a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to hear that though.
Yeah, I can't wait to just get this done and see everyone's reaction to it.
One of the big highlights that we're looking forward to everyone seeing is definitely going to be episode 1's execution. Obviously there are executions. It would be weird if there weren't, but it is completely 2D animated, and that has been a lot of effort. And we actually got some notable outside help with storyboarding and figuring out the whole pacing and concepts of the execution. We hired Kiichio to do the initial storyboard for it.
I love Ki.
Yeah, Ki is amazing.
Yeah, she did a great job at like storyboarding it.
Yeah, but she handled like almost all of planning the cinematography and pacing of it, and it resulted in such a gorgeous thing. Like for all of our VO recording sessions, we would show our actors the animatic that she did for the execution, and that already made a lot of people horrified by what happens in it. So getting reactions to the final version that's like really polished and beautifully like traditionally animated is going to be so fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that now. Shout outs to Key. Key does amazing stuff.
I love Key's work so much. It's such an honor getting to work with her.
Yeah, she's been so great to me.
The execution has also been like my main source of stress for the past month.
I imagine so.
It's like the biggest work that I would ever be doing yet. It's like multiple minutes long, and it's just like so many animations, and all of them are gonna be hand drawn.
I will be more than happy to lavish it with praise when you're done. So hopefully that'll make up for a little bit of the pain and suffering.
Yeah, thank you.
Regarding the voice work, how long did the casting process take? Were there any characters in particular that were more difficult to cast for than others?
Yes. I think for me at least, when we all had like a big call where we went over all of the auditions together and we like, just were like, oh, this one's good, this one's, not really what we're looking for right now. I think the hardest one was probably Erica. Because she's got a fun story behind her. And like, I don't know, I thought like it was going to be a certain way, but then when I listened to how people interpreted that, I was like, oh, this isn't quite it. And so it took a little extra digging from everybody to really find what we were looking for, I think. Erica and Kaguya, probably.
Yeah, it is definitely always like an interesting challenge, because like one thing about voice casting in particular, I know too, that like it kind of get behind the scenes, get into the weeds a little bit, because it is a profession that I think is like pretty misunderstood at the best of times.
It totally is.
But like the thing that's always really interesting to me is like you know there's kind of this conception of like, oh, you find the exact right person for the job and like nobody else fit or whatever. It's like, no, see, the thing that's really challenging about voice casting is that a lot of time you have like at least like 5 or 6 people, if not more, that sound like they could really do it well, but you are left with the very unenviable task of narrowing down the tiny details.
Yeah.
It's so
hard. We got like 700 auditions for our casting call.
I mean, that's just
it's not
how
from
it
a voice
shakes out.
acting. Yeah, like from voiceover, like I do. This is like my job, and I do it all the time. That's super normal. Happens all the time. Don't feel bad about
absolutely.
it.
Because I'm of the mind, like, because I'm still, I guess I would say, like, first time I ever got credited work was in like 2020, 2021, something like that. So like, not that long ago. And I haven't worked much. But like every time I have done an audition, it is literally just like, this is how it is. It's fish in a barrel. I'm just gonna hit send and not think about it.
Yeah, the send and forget policy is where it's at, because otherwise you'll just be sad about it, and there's no point in that.
We are glad to be on your resume though now.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. So obviously, Danganronpa and the art of Rumiko Takahashi have been big creative influences on the project. Are there any other influences, big and small, that have played a part in how the game has come together so far?
Well, Danganronpa and especially Urusei Yatsura are like the big ones. Like those are the main things that I went into this wanting to make like something inspired by. But a lot of the inspiration for the style and structure here just came from my experiences watching like a ton of VHS tapes as a kid in the early 2000s. like over the last decade, there's been this huge movement of like analog mutation media, like stuff like vaporwave, future
Right.
funk, analog horror, like and like even like liminal spaces and stuff like that. And that has had a huge effect on me and has made me very familiar with the concept of anemoia. Anemoia is the concept of nostalgia for a time that you have never known. Like, for example, a lot of the people that are making like stuff like vaporwave and analog horror, and obviously us making Kumitantei, were not alive during the period that these things are inspired by. And there is a lot of like secondhand and indirect yet emotionally important nostalgia for these concepts, aesthetics, ideas, music, all of that. And the desire to create something that blends like those retro aesthetics and nostalgia with a sense of unease and unfamiliarity has been at the forefront of my mind for like a long time.
I would say too, honestly, like that is also a really interesting direction to take artistically with the type of story being told. Because as we all know, you know, like there's kind of a two sides to nostalgia as a concept, right? Sort of the cozy, familiar, like the longing for a simpler time, like basically like wishing you were 12 again. But then also
back when everything wasn't so woke.
Yeah, right. Of course, like that's kind of what I was gonna like touch on. This, like, you know, that perniciousness of nostalgia too, how people can weaponize that to be like, don't you want to go back to this mythical past when things were better? And, you know, having a story that definitely like touches on, again, like imperialism and like stuff like that. It's very, I think that kind of like goes hand in hand in a very interesting way to be like, oh, wow, how nostalgic, how evocative of the past. And then just look at these other things like, how evocative of the past. I think especially as sort of like legacy media and like nostalgic throwback media has sort of like kind of come into prominence more recently, I think it is very important to have narratives that kind of touch on that a little bit, where it's like, yeah, it's totally normal for you to feel nostalgic towards the past. However, it's
no, I was
like
thinking
we
about
have a theme of duality.
Yeah, no, I was literally thinking about this morning. Like a lot of like current like modern horror is built around like sort of like corrupting like a nostalgic property. And on the one hand, it's like, well, this is like considered safe and like corrupting it is the horror, but on the other hand, it's also like I don't know how to word it very well, but like fascism and
yes,
like
the aesthetic of fascism is very much the like, wouldn't you like to go back?
I would say that like a few of my other big inspirations for Kumitantei are Battle Royale, Dr. Slump, Evangelion, Bioshock, and then Toho.
Understandable. I mean, every death game has its Battle Royale inspirations, but like, I do think actually more than I've seen in most recent death game media, that inspiration definitely does shine through.
Yeah, because like the Imperial Japan stuff, like it's kind of necessary.
Even like
honestly,
down to the setting.
Yeah, like honestly, I would argue that Kumitantei is a lot more of a fusion of Urusei Yatsura and Battle Royale than it necessarily is Danganronpa.
Danganronpa just serves as a convenient structural basis.
Yeah.
I read that novel in middle school. Shouldn't have, but it was interesting.
Same actually. And look where we are now.
Handshake. I think like that literally traumatized me a little bit at the time, but I had like nightmares about that book.
It's a bit hard to say for certain, but I think like it's very closely related. But I finished 100 Line, and I think that's going to affect episode 2 quite a bit.
I definitely understand that. How much has the game changed since its inception, and how set in stone do the plans going forward seem to be currently?
Like, as we showed earlier, like, there has been an immense evolution in the 5 years since we started working on this. Like, it just began as something fun for me to do during the early days of the pandemic. Like, during 2019 is when Mango Factory was first founded. Like, and we were working on an RPG. Like, it was going to be an 80s anime, future funk-esque kind of like JRPG game. And that we worked on that for about 8 months throughout 2019. And then it kind of just didn't really go anywhere. Like, everybody that was working on it had other stuff that they needed to commit more time to, and it just kind of fell off there. And then maybe a few weeks after it like was officially ended, lockdown started.
Yep.
Yeah, so now I had nothing really to do, and like all of my friends were also stuck at home. So we started creating like a Danganronpa fan game because, like, fuck it, what else are we gonna do, right?
Right, why not?
Yeah, like, screw it. Like, the fandom's going through a renaissance right now, so okay, let's have some fun. And it ended up becoming like such a thoroughly developed passion project that, like, a couple years later, we were kind of faced with this situation where, like, well, we have to go back to having actual like paid work now. We can't be constantly putting time into this thing. It was crossroads where, like, we can either just let this go as a thing that is just like it's something we worked on for fun during the pandemic, or we can lock in, change it into an original thing, and then keep going with this because this has potential and could be something. And we made the decision to not look for more professional work and instead like go all in on making Kumitantei.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it has just blossomed into a project filled with so much love and care and effort from everybody involved in it, like all of us here. And simultaneously, everything about it has changed so much and not at all. Like it's weird. You can still see so much of my initial concepts in the current game, but the connecting tissue around them has been strengthened so much that it's practically unrecognizable. The core narrative, death order, and case like premises have been set in stone since around like 2022, and there's not really any reason or intention to change that. And so our direction has been pretty clear for now as we're moving forward.
Yeah, because I was going to note that as well, because like I know Neeks had said something about like when the writing for episode 2 is done. But yeah, that was definitely something I was gonna like specifically touch on, whereas like, you know, is the full trajectory sort of like figured out, but it seems like, yeah.
The way that I met Neeks was back in like December of 2020, I think. Like, Neeks put out a tweet or like a YouTube community post saying like, hey, send me your fangame characters and I will review them on a stream or something.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and so I sent in Sakuya, like, and this was like so early in like the development. Like, I hadn't even nearly finalized the designs yet, but like I thought that like, hey, fuck it, I've got these cool concepts for this character, and I've got a neat design, and I'll send it into my favorite Danganronpa YouTuber because they're asking for it. Sorry, Marcy, I don't think that I had watched you yet. Well, now you're my favorite that I'm not actively employing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, so I sent in Sakuya's design and lore and stuff into Neeks, and they ended up really, really liking it and were like super, super supportive and excited about this character. And my fangame that was like just early in its lifespan at that point and gave me like a shout out and the Twitter and everything, like even went out of their way to make a community post like sharing stuff about it. And that was like the first big break for my fangame like getting any attention. And like when we decided to go the direction of making the game like into an original project, I ended up reaching out to Neeks again and wanted to bring them on like as like initially as a creative consultant, but then like very quickly it became clear that like we saw eye to eye completely on the narrative direction and character stuff, and like we brought them on as like the lead person in the writing process.
It's always very nice whenever you can like click creatively in that, like, because you notice very quickly when it's like, oh, we both have like a lot of enthusiasm for like these ideas, and then you just kind of riff off of each other, and it's like, wait, yes, of course, that would be great.
Yeah.
That's always really fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
Morgan.
also, yeah. Our other writer that I had been working with like since the inception of the game, it's kind of a running joke for us that Neeks kind of supplanted them. Like in the comments section for our most recent trailer, we've already gotten people saying stuff like, and now we got Danganronpa 2x2 now in 2026 also.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, people who like that sort of thing really will just kind of like run with like instead of being like, no, you know, there's a real Danganronpa game on the way, so like instead just be like, well, shit, okay, I guess I'll play both. Awesome. For the writers, as we all know, writing murder mysteries can be pretty challenging. Do you have a process for trying to figure out how to structure and plan things like that? Any process you go through to think of feasible tricks?
Well, when it comes to like writing cases, for episode 1, a lot of the case was provided by Lena already. Admittedly, it is a bit of a weak point of mine. I can descend into like complete nonsense logic. Like, oh, okay, so like a bird coughed somewhere. This means that the bird saw the bird saw so and so going through like a pipe, but like, and that's what made the rumble noise. But like, it's not them because like the rumble noise was actually like heard by the true culprit or something like that.
Right.
Like I kind of forgot to point to a major piece of evidence because I was like, oh, it's obvious, like what it is.
Yeah.
But to like sort of like create like the big picture, usually what I do is first thing I do is write the big like how they did it, like the climax bit where the protagonist sort of like goes, this is how everything happened.
Right.
And then from that I go back and figure out like what evidence would that leave behind. How would the culprit mitigate that evidence? How would that in turn leave behind more evidence? And then like sort of like go, okay, so now I've got all of this. Let's seed the environment with it throughout like everything. And then I work that into like the dialogue and like how the chapter's structured, episode's structured.
Setting up those Chekhov's guns.
Yeah.
Because that can definitely be, I think, one of the most challenging parts of doing mystery fiction is just, I mean, you know, everybody likes mysteries, but actually writing one is pretty difficult, considering you have to walk the fine line between, like, making it difficult enough to not just be, like, completely obvious, but also, like, not so obtuse that people are like, what? How the fuck was I supposed to figure that out?
What is an octagon?
Oh, God. I think, like, and the reason I brought up tricks, too, especially, is, like, because, you know, I think that's, like, a very underrated aspect of mystery writing in terms of, like, how people think about it. One of my favorite mystery writers, Mr. Gosho Aoyama, the creator of Detective Conan.
Go, Detective Conan!
The thing that I find
really good.
so insane about his work ethic with that sort of thing is that I don't know if he like still does this now, but I mean like I'd have to assume it's kind of part of his regiment or whatever. But he, in an interview one time, he talked about like how every trick that he employs in his mystery writing, like, you know, the tricks that the culprit uses to get away with the murder or hide evidence or do whatever, he literally like sets up some approximation of those tricks in real life to check if they could feasibly be done by a human, and he doesn't write them into the story unless it is possible. And I just like, I've always thought that that's like such an insane like work ethic to have, where it's like, you know, no, I have to make sure this like makes practical sense.
And then especially incorporating that kind of idea with a premise akin to Danganronpa, like with the absolute talents in our case, that is what makes it particularly interesting, because then you have this chance to bend the rules for specific culprits, considering like what they do and what their unique skill set is. And weirdly, Danganronpa itself didn't take a lot of advantage of that.
No, it really doesn't actually. Like, you know, you kind of have a little bit of a pointing towards it, with
especially
Leon.
in the later games. Yeah.
Like they
like
they
early
try
cases will
it
make cake.
early,
Yeah.
But then they just kind of fall out of it a little bit.
I guess if they use it too often, then I guess it would be kind of too obvious, because like the player can go through like a process of elimination of what would be possible for this character to do.
It's something that we have made like a serious like a concentrated effort to do with Kumitantei, is to make sure that each of the cases like play into the people that these characters are and like what their unique skill sets are. That's very important.
Yeah, definitely. But also like trying to walk that line, I guess, of being like, okay, how do I convey this in a way that's not just going to be like, okay, that's you. I know that you did that.
Yeah, I think you guys did a really good job at that. Like after the episode 1 stuff, I think it's coming together really well.
I'm very excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Danganronpa games are known for the variety of mini-games and other gameplay integrations they bring to the table, so it was obvious a game inspired by it would try some of its own. How difficult is it to design something along those lines, but from a totally fresh perspective? Any scrapped ideas?
So the way that we went into like designing mini games, like obviously there are like a bunch that are pretty like similar to TR. Like in one of the trailers you can see the War of Words, which is like very explicitly like a riff on Nonstop Debates. But in terms of like the mini games, our approach was actually really different. Essentially what we wanted to do with a lot of the mini games was have them emulate like 80s arcade games, since when I was growing up I had the 2 little Namco arcade plug-and-play systems. So I have like a lot of nostalgia and love for that era of arcade games. And like whenever my family would go to like Pizza Hut or something, like I would play the shit out of the arcade games there. That's like a really special part of my childhood. And so for creating mini games for this, like with the 80s aesthetic, like immediately my mind went to, okay, so let's make these kind of like retro like arcade and Famicom games. That just seems like a natural fit. So we incorporated that into Himari's lore, that like aside from work, like her other main character trait is that she likes to hang out at the arcade and play video games, because it gives her something to do. And so that justified us to incorporate like the way that Himari's mind works in terms of like solving problems. She tends to imagine these things as like the video games that she plays, and that's how we explain this. And that's kind of the perspective that we go with, so that like we design like very authentic and carefully created, essentially like bizarro versions of 80s arcade games, like actual proper playable versions of them, with like levels like like the full game essentially, so that we can put those into the arcade area that is in the prize corner in game, and then like during the trials we have. Have you ever played NES Remix?
Yes.
Like that's what the trial mini games are. Is it's essentially NES Remix versions of these arcade and Famicom games that we've created just for this.
That's fun. I do like that approach. By the way, I was just gonna say I do think it is always very funny to be like, it's like, we came up with this thing relating to the character's thought process for this, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And it's like, what is the relation character-wise for Saihara to be hitting people with a car?
Yeah, why is he picking up chicks?
Every detective's desire to commit vehicular manslaughter.
I mean, if you're in the profession for long enough, you really do want to hit some people with your car, I assume.
Yeah. By the way, these Famicom games that we made, they are capable of running on actual hardware.
Like
the pixel art. I actually made you one of our pixel arts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are actually like completely congruent with the Famicom limitations and color palette. Like those are completely within color palette and like the technical necessities of that system and the arcade variation of its hardware.
I love
and
that
so
kind
are
of
all of
attention
these
to
games.
detail.
Yeah, if you burned these arcade mini games onto a cartridge, they would play on a Famicom. Yeah, and our pixel artist, programmer, game designer, Emily, or just M, they have put so much love and work and care and effort into creating these. Like, they've done pretty much all of the pixel art for the mini games, as well as all of the programming and sound design.
Wow.
Their background is in making ROM hacks for the Game Boy Advance. So doing this was like an interesting like challenge, but also like completely in line with their skill set. And that's been so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun to be able to like tap into stuff like that, I guess, where it's like, there are many different contexts in which that specific skill set would like come in handy, but like getting to sort of recontextualize that in an interesting way is like, oh, I didn't think I would be doing it like this.
Here, I found the image. I put it in the chat.
The Donkey Kong. Do you mind if I include this?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have to update this because some of the character designs like might be getting minor adjustments soon before release.
Gotcha.
So originally we had a concept for like a puzzle game one where like it would be kind of like a Tetris-esque thing. This didn't go very far though. Like it's not something that we super fleshed out a lot, but it was something we had considered. Actually, one that was completely scrapped was we had intended. But the armament in Danganronpa, like
yes.
the final boss thing? Originally, we had intended for that to be like given like a punch out. Yeah, like we were planning to do something like that, but like it's an homage to Punch Out, where like you have to fight the opponent to finally get them to like admit that they're guilty or whatever. And we ended up deciding to go in a different direction with that, to instead like incorporate it into the card battle, so that like because like that's kind of like the main like identity thing, so we wanted to make it more of a significant aspect.
Although I do
It would be funny to watch Himari repeatedly punch someone in the face, though.
True.
Yeah.
Have the culprit be like this like jacked up version of them.
All right. I guess to wrap all this around, what are your hopes going forward for development from here? And do you have any final comments you'd like to make for everybody going down the line, I guess?
I would like to make a Kumitantillion dollars.
True.
I wrote the same thing in my notes.
Well, I want our game to like find a good enough success that can keep all of us like working on this without having to worry about personal lives and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, the biggest reason that we decided to like go into business together and like start our own dev team was so that we would be able to support ourselves and each other by doing creative work. And that is like that's our goal, is to be able to give our people and ourselves like fulfilling and reliable work and pay while being able to work on stuff that we genuinely want to do.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing that we want from this, and what we hope that we'll be able to achieve from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
By
that's
virtue of making a Kumitantei.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good goal to have, because like that's the thing. I mean, like, you know, I love creative work. I mean, it's why I do what I do. But man, is it tough out there.
Yeah.
So like
especially now.
Mm-hmm. Any opportunity you have to like be able to bring on people that you respect or people that you're friends with, and just be like, let me give you a situation where like you can do what you love and get paid for it. Like that's you know, it's the greatest thing to be able to do for somebody.
Yeah, we were still relatively pretty small. We haven't like gone viral or anything, but in all things considered, I think we've been pretty lucky. Like like there are like way more games out there that could even get this far like us. Yeah, it's not like a bombastic mainstream or anything, but like compared to like all those millions of other games, like we're in the like really fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really want to see projects from like real people making things that they love like succeed. You know, that's like one of the best parts about voice acting, is getting to work with so many like passionate people that just love the industry and love what they're doing. And that's like, I don't know, I really just want to see those things succeed, because they deserve it, right? Like stop giving money to people with like 15 battle passes. They're trying to milk you for every like cent you have. Like, how much more merch can you make, right? Like
literally, like
I don't know if you guys saw the Pokemon thing about where they're hiding the megas behind 15 paywalls and 15 passes of whatever. Like, that's not what we need. We need people like this team, like Mango Factory, like other people. Like, these are the people that should be succeeding, and these are like we need to just lift them up as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like that,
I need that money to pay for my 15 battle passes for all the games I've done.
No, don't do it.
To me, like it's prudent to like support smaller creators who make like stuff that you're really passionate about, as opposed to like, you know, multi-billion-dollar corporation that's like turns to computer, clacks keys. What do people want? The Toy Story 7 print release. You know, like
we have like, our community might be small, but I think it's very dedicated. A lot of people really adore what we're making here.
And I think
what I really want the most is to have my hard work recognized.
I think that's the most important thing, is like making that connection with your work and like making something that you're really passionate about with people. Because it's like, again, it's like if you're just making something on the basis of like, ooh, the popular thing, you're not really gonna get very far.
Yeah. Like Neek said earlier, the best way to make anything is always to do it from a place of genuine love for the things that you're inspired by.
Yeah. If you care about the stuff that you make, then you'll be able to like put everything into it.
I guess that's everything. But if you know, you guys have any like final comments you'd like to make, then feel free by all means.
Yeah, please wishlist Kumitantei Old School Slaughter on Steam, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Twitter. By saying this, I'm forcing Marcy to put them in the description.
Forcing me to put them on the screen and in the description, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but it would help us out a lot.
I am I'm not asking you to wish list Kumitantei. I am demanding it. I am holding holding
If
a
you
gun
watch
to you.
this whole video of these wonderful creative people pouring their hearts and souls out to you and you don't wishlist Kumitantei,
You're like, not for me.
I don't think. What are you doing? Why are you here? What is wrong with you?
Well, we can't point a gun at them. We have to point at like a really sharp card.
I am pointing my finger, okay?
I love it's like, this is my pitch for you to buy my game. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, what is wrong with you? This is art.
With your support, we can hit a Kumitantillion in profit. And then we can finally pay Mia.
Please. That's so funny.
No, we can make your favorite ship canon.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
No,
Yeah,
no,
if you
Kickstarter.
donate
Don't call it
$100,000 to our development now, and we'll make your favorite ship cannon.
Guys,
Maybe.
raise a Kumitantillion and we will put your fan troll in Homestuck.
That's so funny. That's so funny that you say that, because on our Kickstarter, like as a reference to that fucking backer reward on the Undertale Kickstarter, we literally said, like word for word, pay us X amount of. It was pay us $5,000 and we'll put your fan kid in Kumitantei.
Did anybody actually do it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
literally,
Yeah.
literally the first backer was the $5,000 one.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Love wins.
like, yeah, like
There is hope.
like he told
Love
us
wins.
like months in advance that he was going to snipe that,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and you'll get to see that character in episode 1.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I guess we've gone over everything.
Like and subscribe to NezumiVA.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us this opportunity to like talk about our team and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is really sweet of you.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing things like this, so, I figured it's like, well, I played and enjoyed the prologues, least I can do.
Oh, also
Super
like and
fun.
subscribe to Detective Neeks.
Yeah. How about subscribe to everyone?
Yeah. Subscribe to and like everyone.
Smash that like button.
Ring the bell. What are other?
But
I
let
don't
us.
know. What are the terms?
Use the hype button, which is a thing now for some reason.
Yeah. Rate 5 stars.
Rate 5 stars.
Favorite.
Maybe add a tip.
Yeah. Please leave me a good DoorDash review.
Yeah.
Please leave positive comments on my LinkedIn profile.
Yep. Retweet this on x.com.
Oh Lord.
Well,
Put it on your MySpace page.
right? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Hashtag Kumitantei.
Yeah.
Post this
Yeah,
in your
make a page.
IRC chat.
Make a page about us on YTMND.
Yeah, make a GeoCities website dedicated to your favorite Kumitantei character.
You can even write it in your Substack.
Make
Okay, if you actually make a website, I do want to see it.
make a GeoCities site dedicated to your favorite Kumitantei character, and then connect with somebody else who made a fan site of their favorite Kumitantei character, and then move in with them because they're fiction kin of that character, and then have a long, prolonged personal drama with them over it.
There may be a U-Haul involved.
This is how we find out that Marcy was one of the people in the Final Fantasy house.
God, no. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I mean, if I'm going to be living with somebody, it at least is not going to be a Final Fantasy character, alright?
Yeah, it has to be a Danganronpa character.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Clearly.
god.
My roommate, Kokichi Oma.
You'll be like living
I'm
in
so
the
sorry.
fruit house.
Yeah, I have to be like, Neeks, I have terrible news. He saw it and he's not happy. He's not happy about the things you said. And he's coming.
Oh, he's gonna make me do the dishes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to all of you for talking to me about the game. I had a great time with this, and I guess we'll wrap up the recording here. Wishlist Kumitantei, play Kumitantei, enjoy Kumitantei. That's the most important thing. But also pay money for it. That's also kind of important.
Yeah.
Or else.
Yeah.
Or
Everyone.
it's the best PR to just say do this or else. the SpongeBob like running into Gary, there's a bomb strapped in the chest.
It's gonna explode in 60 seconds if you don't wishlist Kumitantei.
Somebody make that meme.
Please.
Yeah, to the audience, I guess. Whoop! Jesus, that jump scared me. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.